My name is Tim Baker and I am currently a ball painter at Ashbourne Royal Shrovetide Football and one of the official historians on the game. Ashbourne has the prefix of Royal Shrovetide Football, and that came around really for two main reasons. The very first reason was in 1922 when Princess Mary, the Princess Royal, received a ball, as we see here, as a wedding gift on the morning of Shrove Tuesday when she married Viscount Lascelles. She wrote to Ashbourne and conferred royal patronage on the game. That was strengthened in 1928 by having the Prince of Wales, her brother, as we can see him here, who later became Edward VIII, who abdicated for Mrs. Simpson. He turned up the ball in 1928, and then we had to wait a long time till 2003 when Prince Charles, the current King of England, or King of Great Britain, came to turn up the ball on the third time of asking, because the first time in 2001 it had to be cancelled due to foot and mouth. The whole game was abandoned. 2002. A couple of days before the game was due to happen, his aunt, Princess Margaret, passed away. Then finally in 2003, he came to turn up the ball. But we also mentioned Princess Margaret. And what's probably not a common known fact is she came to a royal visit to Ashbourne in November 1963, and she was presented with a miniature Shrovetide ball to give to her son Viscount Linley. I'm holding the ball here that was actually going to be presented to Prince Charles when he came in 2001. He had a ball that he turned up that we used for the game, and then of course we wanted him to take one away as a souvenir. So this is the one that would have been presented to him in 2001. Of course, we've mentioned that he didn't come in 2001, so the ball was retained and we've got it here in the Historical Centre for all to see, although the condition of it isn't great. He was given another ball in 2003 when he did come, and he took that away, and I believe that's in the Royal Collection. It's not in good condition because a previous secretary of the Shrovetide Committee kept this in his safe, or walk-in safe, at his business in town. I believe he used to just kick it along the floor when he walked in, and as you can see, the paint's very badly deteriorated. What we've got on here is a painting of the Prince of Wales, our current king, his uncle, the Prince of Wales in 1928, the Prince of Wales's name and the date. On the side panel here we have a very traditional view of St John Street with the Green Man sign. On this side here we have a painting of the Prince of Wales turning the ball up in 1928. On the reverse side we have the three feathers, the emblem of the Prince of Wales, along with the Prince of Wales coronet, and underneath we've got the Welsh flag. Here you can see at the bottom of this cabinet some of the Royal Crown Derby commemorative plates and cups that we've had produced to commemorate the Prince of Wales's visit. In 2001, of course, we had the plate. We had one in 2002 with the bonbon dish, and also the loving cup as well that you can see at the back, and this is actually a full set of the Royal Crown Derby used to commemorate the Prince of Wales's visits.
Hello, I'm filmmaker Archie Wright, and I also work in the Ashbourne Historical Centre as a volunteer. So the reason that crowns are painted on the Shrovetide ball is really because of the fact that we're royal. But before we became royal in 1883, and those sort of balls that we've got here in Ashbourne, they were painted on the ball by the old painter Jack Barker. And I think that's mainly down because he was a big royalist and he really liked the royal family. But I think, in my opinion, a Shrovetide ball isn't a Shrovetide ball without a crown on it, to be really honest. Years ago, before Stuart Avery, Tim Baker, Simon Hellaby were painting the ball, when Sandra Chadwick and Jack Roberts did it, they stuck crowns on, as you can see here. And even when Arthur Chadwick was painting the ball, he would often stick the crowns on as well if he put the crown on. And the simple reason, I think, was just because it was easier, and the balls were much more simpler back in 70s, 60s, and they didn't really paint them. But many years ago, they ran out of crowns, and so Sandra Chadwick would paint them towards the end of her ball painting time, and so did Jack Roberts.
Ashbourne isn't the only place that plays Mass Street football. Other towns also play in England and in the border regions, and in Orkney, of course. Now, in this cabinet here, we're lucky to have some balls played in other places. This top one here is played in Kirkwall. It's called the Kirkwall Bar, and it's played on Christmas Day and New Year's Day in Kirkwall in Orkney. Below it here is a replica of the Easter Tuesday ball that is played in Workington in Cumbria over Easter. At the side of that, you've got two Jedburgh bars. They're hand bars, they're more thrown around. And indeed, the Prince of Wales, or the King, I should say, this year, started their game only this year in 2026. Then at the bottom here, you've got an Atherstone ball. And that's probably one of the oldest ball games played in this country that we can actually date back. They can go back over 800 years. And they presented their ball to Ashbourne in 2007.
So I am very, very, very proud to be part of something that is royal. I'm very proud to be part of something that's very big, but I suppose that could be a problem in a way, because yes, it's royal, but that makes it very famous, and that means it makes the telly every year. And I suppose of every aspect you would think, oh, that's really good, you know, something you're part of, you know, it goes on the telly. But something I don't like about that is it attracts people that don't know anything about the game, and it makes the game very, very big. And I'll be honest, I tried to have a bit of a play last year, but I couldn't play because there was too many people, so I couldn't actually get to the hug without barging past people. And what people have got to remember who do come from far away is this is Ashbourne's game.
I feel very proud that our game is royal, because no one else in this country at this point in time can brag the same prefix as we can as Royal Shrovetide Football. It's a huge swathe of history to add to our game when you can say that it is royal. We're very honoured that the royal family have patronised it in the way that they have. Not everybody's managed to get that patronage, and it adds a lot of gravitas to our game. But also on the downside of that, it makes the game ultimately more famous on a worldwide level, and that brings a lot more people to the game that we can sadly do without.